all the bragging rights. Oh, my son is doing this. They bought me an LB. You know what I mean? Like it's all the things, or it's like they only talk good about you, right?
TITAs, when we're talking about redefining what it means to be one, instead of asking if somebody's married or what degree they're trying to get or like about their finances, ask them if they're happy.
I think with everything that you kind of go through or you gather from your family, you hit like this crossroad of like, am I going to absorb that and then bring here, or am I going to really try to shift away?
We all got followed at some point, right?
Yeah,
I think
for
it also
sure.
depends. Like, I feel like with my siblings, we were more like, got the palong kurot.
Filipinos aren't the wealthiest people because we're so used to helping others, helping our family here, helping our family back home. That hinders us from like being like climbing that scale monetarily.
Trying to do a solo trip and mom and dad are like, no, you can't go alone. What are you doing? Go with someone.
Maybe in the 90s when we didn't have internet and
There's
social
so much-
media
there's so much going
to
on now.
educate each other, and all we had was white systemic media feeding us what the norm was. Like, we just know better now.
Russell was like the golden child, you know?
Even till now.
Excuse us.
Now.
Yeah, mom and dad.
What's good, everybody? You got Jada,
And Jess.
and we are calling all boss babaes and creative kabayan.
Yay, it's time for our Tita break. Or redefining what it means to be a Tito. And maybe a little bit of a Tito because we have somebody special here today too.
Snap. But wait, before we go any further, okay, there's something that we need you guys to do for us. We need you to click, follow, share, comment, all the things. Follow the Tita so you know what we're up to every week, and so that we can share what we got going on with you guys. So you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and we will see you there.
Yeah.
We'll see you there.
Well, thanks for joining us for another week. We're missing our two Titas once again.
We miss you, Mickey. We miss you, Kai.
Really miss you guys so much. But we do have really special guests, and they're actually my siblings.
Happy Family Day, everyone. Welcome to the Lagman Show.
Hey, Jada said it right. That's actually how you say it. It's Lugman.
Lagman.
Yes.
So we have Russell Lugman
Hello.
and
Yes, Russell.
Julia Lugman.
What up, Julia? She
Thanks,
back at it again.
joining us today. So thanks, guys, for being with
True
us.
family affair.
Yeah, I feel like Jada's going to be doing like a Maury segment where she's just going to be interviewing us about our family experience. But it's going to be a lot of fun.
Speaking of the word pamilya, which is how you say family in Tagalog, I do have a fun... Actually, I don't know if I did it on our season. One time I went to Miami, and I have the word pamilya, funny enough, tatted on my neck. And this dude walks up to me, and he's like, so your name Pamela? No, sir. But anyways, I always think that every time I hear the word pamilya because it's too good of a story to not share. But Family Day is upon us. Love that for Canadians. It's a day off. Hopefully you have it off.
Yeah.
I gotta go clock in, but it's all good.
A lot of people have to still work on Family Day.
Yeah, no, for sure. But do you guys I don't know, do you guys even, because remember, this is new for Canadians. We didn't have this before. To my understanding, it was like some kind of backstory of like we had to match the amount of stat holidays to the U.S. So they're like, Canada's like, Family Day. Do you guys even consider it a real holiday? Do you guys like make plans to meet? Like, how's that in your household?
I mean, I don't consider it an actual real holiday. I'll take it. And, you know, like if we could
Any
plan
holiday.
something, then
Yeah.
great. But no, I don't consider it real. I think our family's pretty tightly knitted. I think that we try to spend as much time as we can. But
Every day is
to make it
Family
a hol-
Day.
to make it a hol- no, but like-
look at this cute family.
no, like I feel like we're busy enough, but to make it a holiday, no, I don't think so.
No, I feel that. Julia?
Yeah, I don't consider it a holiday. But again, like my brother said, I'll take it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for
to
sure.
do where I'm not working. I think previous family days, as long as we're not doing anything, we will usually try and do something. Right now, my
Yeah.
parents are in the Philippines. Wait, no, are they going to be back by then?
Yeah, they will.
Oh, they will
but
be back.
yeah, maybe. We'll
But
see.
yeah, I think maybe if my sister doesn't do anything, because we always want to see the kitties.
The kids, yeah.
We'll say life hack.
Yeah.
Have babies before your siblings have babies so that they can help you. So life hack.
It takes a village. It definitely takes a village. Same with my family. It's, you know, if everybody's like off or not doing anything, we'll make the effort to like make a plan, but it's not like Christmas, you know,
Yeah,
where it's a must.
Wait, so how long ago did they make it actual holiday? I don't even know.
That's a good question. Let's ask Tita Chat. When did Family Day start in
think so.
Canada? Guesses?
I was like 5 years ago because it's been around for a
That
bit.
sounds, yeah, that sounds.
I was gonna say more. I mean, like 8-10 years ago.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay, well, my internet connection is not helping. Hold on. Come on, guest Wi-Fi. Okay, no, seriously, it's not coming up. But my guess was like around 5 years.
Really?
Yeah, someone else try because mine's not coming through right now.
2007 or 2008.
Oh, in my
Yeah,
face.
Wow.
Okay.
No, because I was thinking, I'm like, I swear, even when we were younger, like family days would be like, let's go to the movies. Day,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
All right. So our Tagalog and Bisaya phrase of the week, it's a fun one. You could use it for your family. You can use it in other contexts of your life. Don't talk back. Okay? In Tagalog, it's wag kang sumagot. Oh, here we go. Sumagot.
I feel like I heard that a lot.
Wag kang sumagot. I messed it up. Hold on. Wag kang sumagot. I think that sounded better.
Yeah.
And then in Bisaya, we have ayaw pagtubag. Okay, I can say that one better. Even though I,
I know
speak
the first
Tagalog.
one I feel like is really tough because there's like a lot of vowels.
All right, all together. Say it with us at home. Wag kang sumagot.
Samagot. Samagot. It's so hard.
Wag kang
Help
sumagot.
us speak Tagalog, guys.
I'm going to have to practice that one, to be
Yeah,
honest.
but I
to feel
definitely heard
confident.
that a lot as a kid for sure.
Yeah.
did you listen?
Followed by sapakin kita. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
exactly.
Kidding. Well, anyways, okay, that's another conversation. All right, well, this is going to be fun. I'm super excited to be welcomed by the Lagman family. Welcome to TITA Lagman. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back after this, and we're going to talk all things pamilya. Welcome back to Tita Salita. We are talking all things pamilya, and I am here with the Lagman sibling set. So it's only right that we talk about the chain of command. Okay? Shit runs downhill. No, I'm just kidding. I make that joke. In our family, we do that. It's like sometimes a tita, an elder will ask like the eldest, and then she just passes the task down until it gets to like bunso, and it's like, well, you have to do it. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we're going to start with the oldest child, Ate Jess. When did you become the third parent? Do you feel like you're the third parent?
We're like first parent.
Yeah,
First
sorry, mom.
Hot take.
Whoa.
We love you, Tita and Tito.
Wait, which order are you in? Are you in the middle? Because
I am the oldest.
Oh, I didn't know
okay.
that.
Yes, I have 3 younger siblings.
Oh, wow.
And the next one, so it's me, and then Jory, who's 4 years younger than me, and then James, who's 6 years younger than me, and then we have Tris, our bunso, at, what is that, 4, 6, 8 years apart.
Wait, so all brothers?
2 brothers, 1 sibling. So they,
got
them.
it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so then we can both answer this question. But, well, she said I'm the first parent. That kind of makes me scary.
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
You parents
It's ate, yo. Ate has that energy sometimes, right? Everybody has that ate.
Well, our parents worked a lot. So as soon as we could stay home alone, we were home alone. And I'll never forget the story of when we were home alone and I was watching them. And all we'd eat is like mac and cheese, instant noodles, like whatever we can stir up, right?
Patties.
So we had a really nice roomy house at this point in Markham, and my siblings thought it'd be a great idea to rollerblade
Oh, my God.
in the house.
Oh yeah.
Hey, we did
was
that
a
too.
great experience.
Oh, this
If you have the
So-
space, why not?
Yeah.
And then so they were rollerblading in the house, and they were trying to get their like ichiban from the
Noodle soup from the microwave.
Yeah, in the microwave.
Oh, gosh,
so it
here we
was
go.
Julia, right?
Yeah, it was the microwave where you pull it.
But it was like above the counter.
Yes,
gosh.
so you couldn't have to like pull it open.
It's giving
not like
Home
a push
Alone
button.
stunt. Like,
And we were racing to go. We heard a beep and we were racing
And
to
I'm
go
like,
get
no,
it.
Kuya, like I'll get it.
And
I
I was
don't
like,
know
"No, I
why I
got
was
it."
so happy to just open the microwave for him to give him his soup
I didn't even know it was for him.
on rollerblades, by the way.
nice.
So then what happened after that? I don't know.
The microwave, well, the soup fell on him. The
I
microwave fell on
know.
me, and I got a cut on my head.
She opened it and she pulled it because we're on
whole
rollerblades
thing.
and she slipped and the whole thing just came pouring pouring down on us. And I think you got a cut on your head.
Oh
I
my
had a
God.
burn on
And
my
then,
neck. Like,
funny enough, mom and dad came home. They were pissed.
pissed.
I didn't even know they were like. I don't have a recollection of like being upset. I think maybe
Just
I got
like,
in
I
trouble.
wanted the kids
But I
to-
was just like, okay, well, like they're fine. I always tell my parents whenever something happens to my siblings, they're fine. They're gonna be okay. Like,
Or you
literally.
cover their mouth and you're like, shit's fine. It's okay.
But they were okay, and then I'm just like, oh, sorry, I didn't know they were rollerblading, and I don't even know if that's true, but I was just like, whatever, like you guys, like we're home alone. I'm just your older sister. I can't stop you from doing
I'm
all
one of the
these
kids
things.
too. Yeah.
But I will say, as the eldest, as I was a teenager, and I was like, you're doing bad stuff, so they're like, don't be like Ate. And then when you start doing all the good stuff, after years of learning and going through a whole bunch of mistakes, they're like, oh, you should be more like Ate.
Like, listen to
So
Ate.
that's what I found kind of annoying. But the thing, like, can you relate for that as the eldest?
Yeah, I mean, so our parents had to work a lot too, but then we had our Lola, but we called her Nanay. So she was like the parent that took care of us. But then I definitely felt, I don't know if it's how the adults spoke to me, but I understood the responsibility of like, you're the ate, you have to make sure your brothers are okay, or if Nanay's not there, then like you're next. So I definitely took that responsibility to heart. I don't know what age that is. I don't know if I have like a core memory that was like, oh, I'm the eldest. I just remember like, yeah, just making sure that they're always good.
Alive and
Yeah,
well.
alive and well. Although it's embarrassing, we're like sometimes we're like reminiscing, and then they're like, "Yeah, Ate, remember when you?" And it's like some kind of like torturous story, and I was like, "No, I don't remember that." Shut up. Yeah. Were you ever allowed to fail? Do you find as the eldest?
Oh yeah, I didn't care. Like I didn't care if I was setting a bad example. I know that sounds really bad, but it's like I'm being a sibling and a kid for the first time.
Yeah.
So and I think maybe that's where I got so much Filipino disappointment was you're supposed to be setting the example.
Yeah.
But I never felt that obligation. And if my parents ever put that on me, I was like, I just shrugged it off because they were young too, right? So it's like we're all learning, but if I'm doing something wrong, sorry, don't do it. And if I did something right, I also didn't say like, oh, you guys should follow me, you know? Like, so I never had that present. Like, Russ, how did you feel? Like we were only alone, just the two of us for like 2 years.
I don't know. Did that ever change for you though? Like at some point, like that mindset of.
I think now.
I was gonna say, like I feel like
Yeah.
once you had Maddie.
I don't even think after I had Maddie because I was
Really,
still learning. Maybe after I got married and I
Okay.
had 2 kids and I was like, okay, well now I should probably but I'm still making the wrong decisions.
Yeah.
Like even if I'm giving Julia advice or you advice, I'll be like, I do X, Y, and Z wrong and I'm still figuring it out. So like when I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
But this is what I did. This is what worked and what didn't work.
Yeah, I feel like mom and dad were so busy
Yeah.
when I know they wanted to like implement that, but I think we felt that more from like grandma and grandpa.
Yeah.
You know, like that really like this is the layout of what you should be doing.
Hoy.
But with mom and dad, they were so like they're so busy that
They weren't there.
yeah, we had to figure out
Yeah.
some of our stuff on our own, and it was only until we like needed them or
Yeah.
we hit a wall or we're in deep trouble. And that's when we kind of were like, you know, sitting down with our hands folded. Well, maybe not you, but when kind of take those hits, not
Yeah.
little hits, sometimes little
Yeah,
hits, but yeah.
We can all admit it. I think we all got followed at some point, right?
Yeah,
I
for
think it
sure.
also depends. Like I feel like with my siblings, we were more like you got the palong kurot. Like
Correct.
me and Jory got it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but James and Tris less, right? Because we were in Canada longer. Then it was
Yeah.
like, oh, there's rules.
I think out of us three, I think Julia didn't.
I've never gone
Yeah.
One time,
Yeah.
sorry. I have a random story. One of my cousins, he told me how he got in trouble. I can't remember what he did. His mom followed him with like a wooden spoon, but it left a mark. And then like first it was like mom and dad against kid, but then as soon as they found out there was a bruise, dad turned on mom because he's like, you don't leave a mark. Then they're going to know.
There's evidence. There's evidence.
I'm trying to think of who got beat the most though.
It was
Like
definitely, definitely
you.
you.
Okay,
I think
100%
I
you.
will hold
deserved it,
that.
though.
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely, but it was more like the hair pulls and like I think I actually did get soap in my mouth at one point. I was like, because they would just say like, you have a. I forgot what they used to say. You have a,
You were like you kind of. It's almost like you wanted it at some point. It's like you never backed down.
Go
Like,
ahead.
When I was in trouble, I was just like head down, hands folded, and I would just
Yeah,
take it.
that's
But you were just like rah back and like.
I don't know where that came from, to be honest. But I would say like for like, and say older kid syndrome or middle, like we really had a complex because Russell was the only boy. Where like Russell was like the golden child,
Excuse us.
Now.
Yeah, mom and dad, if you're watching, we know who the favorite sibling is. Our child.
Once August was born, he took my shine.
You passed it on. You passed the baton
He took
on.
it from me now.
I will say I'm the oldest, but I always tell Jory, who's younger than me, that he's my little bigger brother. Because I was, as the eldest, like, we're just figuring it out. We're just like taking stabs in the dark, trying things, learning. And I think Jory learned from that. He's more responsible than me, I'm not going to lie. But I don't know if it's like, well, we have different personality types, but also I think just like learning what I went through. I feel like as the eldest, I definitely did my best to be a model sibling. I think it wasn't until I hit 18, that's when I was like, hormones, I have a job now, you can't tell me what to do, I want to go out with my friends. I did all of that, which then deemed me to be like this like demon child. It's like, where did we go wrong, type stuff. But then I was more aware as the eldest that I was like, okay, I didn't go to college or university. I feel like I'm failing in the Filipino expectations as the eldest. And I remember specifically sitting down with each of my siblings one-on-one to be like, don't do what I did. Just because I'm failing doesn't mean you have to. So start thinking about what you want to do, et cetera, et cetera.
I don't like that you said failing, though. I think it's more like you learned a lesson.
It felt like,
at the time. Yeah. But I think that's extremely responsible of you as an ate to be like, hey, I did these things and they didn't benefit me in the way that I wanted to, but maybe you should try. So it's like really good. I don't feel like a lot of people have that kind of accountability.
No, sure.
But yeah, like Julia, you're the youngest. I feel like the youngest always gets it the best, but I don't know. What was your experience?
I mean, I think just growing up, I was able to learn from your guys' mistakes. And I think mom and dad, they would definitely say, like, don't be like your brother or sister, make better decisions. But I would say I'm still very much babied because I'm the youngest. But
Bunso energy.
Yeah, I think just learning from you guys, just don't make the same mistakes, and if anything, if I do, be smarter about it.
So actually, I was gonna flip into middle child. I feel like middle child has that stereotype that you guys are the forgotten child, but not in this family. It's sounding like
He's the only boy, right?
Yeah, and that's true.
But to be honest, I think early on, like maybe when I was like a kid, I think it was
like
a little
16.
bit.
Yeah.
But ever since I started, getting into sports and stuff like that and being a little more comfortable, I think that there was a lot of attention and focus put onto me. It was mainly because of the basketball stuff, but I think that I rolled that out as long as I could. But
Did you ever play Knights of Columbus free throw?
I won 3 years in a row. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So do you guys feel like wherever you fall in the chain of command, like has your role shaped who you are today?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think so. I think for me, being the eldest, like having that trait to like, okay, cool, I'll figure it out, or like take the lead on things, or to initiate things, or to be the collector of the group kind of thing and get things going, translates into what I do for a living now. So,
well, I'm like the party planner, the freaking vacation planner.
Financial
Mom
planner.
called me, your sister's not answering the phone, talk to her. Like the therapist.
I get. That's another thing I feel with the eldest too, or maybe if you're just like an ate within a family, it's the if your mom and dad can't get to the other siblings, you're the the communicator for sure. Yeah.
It's good though. I don't think I've ever been more proud to be an ate.
Yeah.
Like in this stage of my life.
Yeah.
I know I'm not perfect, but I'm definitely proud to be an ate for sure. For sure. Yeah. And then shout out my ates who I look up to, because they're like, I'm just trying my best, but I feel like they are my reference point of what I aspire to be in life. So
I feel like growing up, because I was, the only boy, I think when they would go through like their like dating and like boy stages, I had to feel like somewhat of a protector, and then even earlier stages on with Maddie and everything, and the situation that Jess had with Maddie's father. I think even that, like seeing and reading those things, have like translated a lot into like how I view my partner now and situations that we have going on and stuff like that. So I definitely think it kind of shaped or helped my mindset, really focus on those type of things. But
Yeah.
And I do like that we're all close. I think
we're
as we got, I would say growing up, I was a lot closer with my brother because we played basketball together.
Sporty.
And I remember sending a text message to my sister of like, I'm sorry that we weren't that close because you were always like, we're just partying with friends at one point. And we were just always playing basketball. We would do runs together. We would train together. But now as I got older, especially after you had Maddie and August, like your kids, like we became like this. Like,
I think when
I'm
you had
just really
Maddie,
grateful.
I got really close with you.
Yeah,
and
Russell's Maddie's best
the way I
friend.
was with Maddie, I could see how you
That's
are
so cute.
with August
August.
now.
yeah.
I love that. And it's, for siblings too, I think one thing I've definitely learned within sibling dynamics is it doesn't matter if we literally come from the same parents. We are all different people. We will respond differently. And I think there's even like a theory or something about that. Like, even if you're in the same household with the same parents, like every child's experience is different, right? And we don't and we all don't have the same set of parents that raise us. But my hoping for sibling groups is that like we can all be different, but as we become adults, like you find where you guys can connect and maintain that strong relationship. And then my heart goes to like, when you hear drama and chismis with other sibling groups, where I'm like, bro, like I can understand being angry at a sibling, but not to an extent where, it's extreme or people get cut off. Like I could never see myself getting there. So it breaks my heart to hear when certain families have to go through that.
I think Dad helped us out with that a lot.
Yeah.
He'd say you're gonna have new coworkers, you're gonna have new friends, old friends, they're gonna come and go. But he's like, your siblings are the one that are gonna, be there forever. So
Yeah. Oh, there was that meme. Remember?
There was that. I'm trying to remember actually.
So it's like I think
the
she
greatest
has, like,
gift my parents gave us were my siblings.
Yeah.
I actually cried when I saw that.
I'm a bit cried a bit.
All right,
good.
we're
It was
gonna
good.
we're gonna cut and cry, and then we'll come back. We'll be back after this.
All right, welcome back. So it's our family episode, and we're here with my siblings, Russell and Julia, and then Jada's being our Maury. No, just joking. No, we're talking about Jada's family too. We wish that they could be with us today.
Yeah.
That'd be really actually super cool. So success. We talk about this a lot on this show, but now that we have some family here, like what does success mean in Filipino families? I mean, I feel like I was disappointment number one from the get-go by accident.
And then he was disappointment number 2.
You want to go first? Or?
You go first. You go first.
I think in the Filipino community, I think it's tough. Like it's high, you gotta have good grades. You gotta make sure you graduate. Like I think that
Be perfect.
you know what I mean.
Be an athlete, even though you're
So
short.
I think me
Show them how
being-
you sing and dance.
I think me being the only boy, like I never had good grades. But I think me, having basketball to a certain extent, as far as they took it, I think that helped take some pressure off of me in a sense. Obviously, in like the work environments, you can try to find yourself and you try to reach certain heights. But yeah, I just feel like our parents, because they had a very different layout, maybe from what even their parents expected. Our parents made it feel like it was okay to fail and find yourself and
That's beautiful,
figure yourself
though.
out.
And
but from
rare.
the outside in, it's I think even now our family has like this
Stigma.
a certain feel to it that like this is just how we do it though. You know what I mean? And I think it's okay if people don't
Lagman
understand
style.
it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I never
Hashtag
never
Lagman
felt that
style.
from my parents. I think I felt that everywhere else. But yeah.
No, I think to even add on to that, mom and dad, they didn't have the best upbringing and they didn't want for us to experience the same thing they went through with their parents. And I think in terms of being successful, I think mom and dad are just like, as long as you're happy, you have a great job, you're financially stable, you have a roof over your head, you have food to eat, and we have each other. That's always been the main thing. Like whatever happens moving forward, we have each other to rely on and to help each other out, even financially. But I think to me, I think that's what success would be within our family.
Yeah, it wasn't ever like a monetary thing. It wasn't like you have to be a doctor, you have to be a nurse, you have to be a lawyer. I think they had said things like that. Like my grandfather was an interpreter, and then my mom was like, I've always wanted to be a lawyer. So like that's kind of at the back of your head. And now like that I'm doing like more like advocacy work, it kind of like just naturally tied in. And maybe that had played some kind of part.
Yeah.
But I think as we continued to move up and did things naturally, they're just proud of us, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it was like, man, I survived as a young parent in a society that didn't believe in me. And my kids just like, if they're doing well, then great. But I definitely think that we didn't fit the mold of a typical Filipino family. We did things so differently. We were ridiculed, and like, especially for like religion, like we're not like the super religious family, right? Like we didn't go to church like other Filipino families. And because of that, I think people had such low expectations of what our family was capable of. So like financially, if my parents were doing well or if we were getting promoted, it was always like a surprise. And like we talked about that, like being the underdog, like I think our family is such a underdog. So like when we are being successful in any way, shape or form, we celebrate so widely that it never felt like a pressure cooker. It just felt good to see each other do great stuff together.
I feel like we almost thrive better being under the gun like that.
I love me a good underdog story. I'd rather be the underdog.
But I was going to say too, even like that, you know, the religious part, I feel like for us, or even mom and dad, I think them seeing how we are to each other or other people, I think that is something that they kind of hold their hat on.
Yeah.
Is in seeing how just, you know, our characters and how we treat each other. I think that's something that, whether it's a job, promotion, career, I think that's something that they could look back and go, we did okay kind of thing. At least I hope. But yeah.
I love that. Second of all, like that's very rare, I would say, for me. Like I grew up in the church. I was an altar server until the friggin' robes couldn't fit me anymore. I was like, Mom, I can't do this. But we grew up in the church, and I feel like even if it wasn't directly to me, the conversation between titas and titos, like it's so common to hear all the bragging rights. Oh, my son is doing this. They bought me an LB. You know what I mean? Like it's all the things, or it's like they only talk good about you, right? And then if it's chismis, it's because of something you didn't like, or something that you did that's against the grain. So I feel like subconsciously that added pressure to how I viewed everything. That's why even from like that dating episode where I said, if I don't have anything good to report, I'm not saying nothing, you know? And it's funny because like even there'd be times where I don't even feel good about myself, or I don't think I have anything to brag about. But then sometimes I'll hear, one of my parents like, like, yes, I did something or I accomplished something, but then it's like a little bit more embellished when they're sharing it within their friends, right? So subconsciously, I feel like there's been that pressure and expectation to do what's right. And, do good in school, get a good job, get married. And it's like, or even when I'm talking to titas, where it's like, what are some of the first questions they ask you? Oh, are you in school? Oh, did you work? Oh, did you move out? What kind? Oh, are you driving? Did you drive? There's one time where she's like, did you drive here? And I was like, I took an Uber, and like I felt the
judgment.
Yeah, and it's like it's not that serious. Anyways, but successful in our family. I know for a fact my parents just want us to be independent, take care, and be taken care of. I don't think they were like really hardcore in terms of giving us that messaging, but again, like subconsciously in certain environments, I think that's where I felt that pressure.
It's like the family parties, right? Because then like, I feel like your parents amp it up when you're around other people.
Yeah, for sure.
Friends. But this is like my disclaimer. I'm going to look into the camera. Like titas, when we're talking about redefining what it means to be one, instead of asking if somebody's married or what degree they're trying to get or like about their finances, ask them if they're happy. I just think like I've never been to a Filipino party where my titas or my titos or like grandparents or lolas, like they're like, oh, are you happy? Never, right?
How are you doing?
Or how are you doing? What did you do this weekend? Like asking about me as opposed to a certain thing that they can measure, right?
Yes, like not everything has to be measurable. Like we don't check up on each other enough.
Yeah.
And I want to know how like my titas are doing too. Like my parents are in the Philippines right now, and my tita took them, and I have never seen my parents as happy as they are when they're in the Philippines, and they haven't been back in so long. But it's so refreshing to see your parents happy, and it's like I want to talk about those things. I don't want to talk about like the serious parts of family all the time.
No, for sure. Actually, my one of my siblings, James, bought our parents those books. So it's like a bunch of questions that your mom and dad have to answer. Which like it's a gift for them, but gift for the siblings as well, right? Because we the questions that are asked in those books are not things that we just bring up in regular day-to-day conversation. But I've definitely been trying to do more of that with my parents as I've gotten older. Like, hey, how did you feel when you first moved to Canada? Or when you were your first year in Canada, like what was the one thing you missed in the Philippines? How did you guys, I love seeing my mom and dad light up when they talk about how they met and their love story. You know what I mean? So it's like just learning more about them and not necessarily is dinner cooked? Are bills paid? All those things that we measure ourselves against on a day-to-day basis. So
in one of our episodes, we were talking about finance, talking about money, talking about careers. I think money in family is something that we don't talk about with our family.
That's enough.
Maybe
I wonder why.
What's your job?
What's the ROI? What are the KPIs?
But we talk about retirement and taking care of our loved ones. But I feel like there's this weird borrowing culture in Filipino culture.
In what sense? What do you mean borrowing culture?
We're not.
Or it's shame to borrow?
No, I think it's the opposite. They say there's a stat somewhere that exists somewhere on the internet where it says in terms of Filipinos in the Asian culture, where do they rank in terms of being wealthy? And they say that Filipinos aren't the wealthiest people because we're so used to helping others, helping our family here, helping our family back home. So it actually that hinders us from being climbing that scale monetarily. So we're not the most financially stable Asians, I guess you can say. Filipinos are not up there of being super wealthy because we're so generous as a culture. Do you guys agree, disagree?
I agree, and it's I think it's the household that we were raised in, seeing, not trying to put anyone under the telescope here, but with mom, I feel like she's very helpful. She'll help.
So totally.
I saw this thing where it's just you have someone give someone $100, but someone who only had $101, the other person had $1,000. It's she's willing to give almost everything to the point where she has nothing.
Yeah.
And then does that make her go a little crazy? Get a little stressed, of course, but it's she's willing. Always, and that's why maybe if she comes to us or it's a little it tends to spread. Where is it a bad thing? Is it a good thing? I think everyone will have their opinion on it, but I think especially mom, is willing to
help.
Do have that mindset?
Yeah.
But does it hinder her sometimes? I'm sure it does, but yeah.
I think, Filipinos, we're definitely known for being generous, and I'm blessed to say that my family is like that. Sometimes Tito will give you, the thing only costs $10. He gives you the $20 bill, and then he's like, "Oh, keep the change." And you're sick, But I think it's actually more common just in the immigrant story period. I can't remember it right now, and I'm too slow to try to research it, but J. Cole has a line saying basically it's he'll front the money and then be broke, but then you get paid, so then you front it back, and then it's this exchange of survival, you know what I mean, between your family members. So I think that's common, not just for Filipinos, I think for immigrant families. So I think it can be hindering. Is that a word? Hindering?
Yeah.
It can hinder someone because you're not allowed, or you're not able to set that foundation because it's you're giving to your family member, making sure they're good, which is unfortunate. And then we brought this up on the financial episode, but it's we also you know what you know, and we don't share how to, or there was information withheld from people of color in terms of just how to manage your money as a whole, right? So we all just trying to do what we got to do in the moment to get to the next paycheck sometimes, right?
And I don't think it's a bad thing, right, to not be considered a wealthy culture. I would rather be generous, and it goes back to our core values being Filipino, family oriented, generous, caring, helping, than be oh, well, that person's really rich.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was good.
That was good. All right, we're gonna take a break, and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back, y'all. We are talking about pamilya, and in Filipino culture, we are all very familiar with respect your elders. We have mano po, which is a physical sign of always showing your elders respect. But with that said, how do you guys set boundaries without being labeled disrespectful? Because what I'm learning is like, okay, yeah, you may be older than me, but that's not right. You know, they may do or say something where it's like, that's kind of messed up now, you know, and you got to lay boundaries for yourself to protect your peace. But how do you do that without, you know, being shunned?
I would say, I think growing up, you know, well, at least for me, like we can't really talk back. And I think as we got older, we're allowed
God forbid,
to.
right?
Yeah, God forbid. Girl talks back.
Yeah.
But I think as we got older, we were more open to like voicing our opinions, but to a certain extent. Like I think with our family, if something's going on with one of our titas or titos, we'll talk about it with our parents first before we say it to them.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I think it's just like trying your best to be respectful while also understanding like, you know, this is your tito and tito.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a good contrast too of having how mom is and how she addresses, you know, conflict, respect with elders, and then see how dad would address it.
It's very different.
My mom is more of like, you stand your ground, you fight for, you know, what you think is right, and you know, doesn't matter who it is. But my dad was a lot more understanding, a lot more patient. You know, one of his favorite quotes, you know, when you throw rocks at me, I'll throw back bread. And so it was a good fine line to see of like when you do need to put your foot down and you know, show your authority, I guess. But again, my dad was so understanding to the point where maybe a little too understanding sometimes.
Yeah.
So I think it was good to see the contrast of the two growing up. And again, I think how we absorbed it all and how we kind of use it in everyday lives. I think we're okay in terms of, you know, showing respect and being humble and, you know, addressing it. But yeah.
They were definitely more respectful than me. That is for sure. I didn't mind going against
going
and they
against
have
the grain.
To calm me down. Like even now,
even now, just recently,
it's not as bad.
So yesterday,
it's definitely not as bad,
it's
but
not as bad. But yes, just
I've toned down.
We had to calm you down.
You know, I think it was because people were so honest with me at the beginning.
That's true.
Right? Like, and again, like my mom was a teenage mom. Like I've heard stories of how they spoke to her about having a child so young.
Yeah, I think you hold that weight.
Yeah, like I hold that weight. I have that chip on my shoulder naturally. So if I don't agree with something, I try to be as respectful as possible. Have I rubbed people the wrong way? 100%.
Yeah.
I've been called disrespectful in so many ways, right?
Yeah.
And that has hindered some of the relationships I've had with my elders. But I think that what I've learned is when you have a belief and you genuinely think you're right, you have to prove it to them. Because like if somebody says a racial slur, like, you know, and you say, hey, like that's not appropriate, don't say it anymore. It's almost like showing them in real time why that's offensive. Like what if somebody called you a derogatory term? Would you like it? And what I'm learning now between working with like intergenerational people who have been around, like, so I work in healthcare, who have been in healthcare for a long time versus new people coming into healthcare, them having completely different views of life.
Yeah.
It's like we all have one common purpose. And like you guys have to realize that you're in different situations, but you actually are fighting for one thing.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, when I think mostly to like my grandparents, like my grandma would always be like, oh my gosh, like your mouth, it's so bad. Like, you know, like in like Tagalog, I don't know how they, yeah, like it was bad. Like they would definitely like yell at me, say like, why are you so mean and disrespectful to your mom? But I think because we had such that short age gap between us, I was like challenging her and teaching her the same way she was. And I think ultimately, like now that I'm older, that actually really benefited our relationship. So yeah, like I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I also am just like such a strong advocate for calling things out when they're wrong.
Yeah.
But thanks to my siblings and my parents, like they have settled me down a bit and said, you're not the right person to talk to this person right now. Like don't say anything, let us handle it. But if they feel like they do like need a tiger to come out of their cage, they'll be like, okay, Arthur, just do whatever you want.
Sick 'em.
You're the one to kind of like calm us down.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the one that has to kind of like delegate it a little bit, really try to mediate as much as I can. But I think even your what you just said there, Ate, is like that's the understanding that I think you got from dad, but the execution or like the drive behind it is from mom. But because the way you talk a lot more eloquently and a lot more educated, it speaks more than what mom and dad could probably do combined. And I think it shows in how you say it. But do you feel though that you're starting to feel what you got from them? Do you feel that with Maddie at times? Like
Oh yeah, like
I can see. I'm like, I just saying, I'm like, well, that's probably how Maddie feels.
I am you and you are I.
my mom always said, however you treat me, your kids will treat you 10 times worse. I don't think my kids.
That's one of my fears, yo.
In real time, it's happening.
Yeah.
I have a very different relationship with my kids than I had with my parents, which I'm extremely thankful for. Oh my God, I looked at the time. I'm like, did I pick up my kids yet? No. Okay, we're good. But yeah, it's hard. And I do regret a lot of the ways that I treated my parents. But like you just have to go through it. I don't regret anything that happened.
Yeah.
But I am really trying to teach my kids how to be respectful. But like, you know, like when you're in a situation, your kids like don't want to hug somebody and they're like, oh, no, that's your tita. Like you have to hug them. You have to kiss them. That's something I've really shied away from. And like, you know, talking to a lot of experts in this field, like if your child genuinely doesn't want to do something, it's okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think you can still be respectful and say hi from a distance. You don't have to bless everybody. You don't have to kiss everybody. But if you just say like, oh, hi, tita, like from a distance, and that's how they feel comfortable, I still think that's being respectful.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I feel like like the whole respect your elders thing, like I've had to be silenced a lot because it's just like, oh, don't talk like that to them. You know, just be good. Shh, be quiet. Stay there. Like it's a lot of that. And even within my adult journey, like I've struggled to voice my opinion and stand on business. Ongoing thing for me. But I pick and choose my battles. Like sometimes I think, depending on context of a situation, there are times where it's like, okay, that's not right.
Yeah.
You got to stand up for yourself or put your foot down, whatever it may be. And then there are times where I'm like, bro, you're kind of delusional. It doesn't matter if I tell you what's right or not. Like, Tita's crazy. Or like, you know, like she's not gonna, or it doesn't matter how, I think delivering messages, timing, tone, choice of words, crucial.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like talking to a wall. So am I going to waste the energy? So it's like you got to pick and choose your battles depending on the situation and context. But that's something I've had to learn over time.
Yeah, it's a good boundary for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I always have to hold my tongue. But in my head, I'm thinking like...
That's saying a lot, though.
I starts twitching. Not saying anything. So wait, do you guys feel like you can love your family but choose differently?
Yeah, I think with everything that you kind of go through or you gather from your family, you hit like this crossroad of like, am I going to absorb that and then bring here, or am I going to really try to shift away because maybe it didn't mold well for me?
Fair.
And I think that's a constant battle with that any big or small decision with family. But yeah, I think so.
I believe in protecting your peace.
Yes.
Yeah, that's huge.
And just because you may lay a boundary or maybe not be as close to someone, you can still love them from afar, right? Depending on context, of course. How do you feel, Jess? What are your thoughts?
My family always says now, and it's so hard for me to remember, like, you have your own family now, Jess, right? Like when you kind of, and it's hard because I'm so close to my siblings and I'm so close to my parents, but they have given me the time and space to exist outside of them and to love my family differently. I mean, they have their opinions, of course, of how I should love. I am noticing, though, like some of the things growing up that may have seemed disrespectful, I'm bringing into like my marriage. And I'm like, if somebody else is receiving me that way, then, you know, that's like an internal thing for me to reflect on and be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be behaving that way. And that method of love isn't working for anyone. So I'm going to have to change it. So you see those things that like you grew up with your family noticing and you thought that, oh, they're just my family. Like they're just not receiving me well. But then you do it to somebody else and they're like, okay, then it's an internal thing, right? And I have to choose a different way to show my love or to stop doing that so that I come off more loving. So I do like that my parents gave me that space to raise my own family the way that I should. And I think that we've like adopted things from one another.
For sure.
Yeah, so it's been
and
nice.
It's all about getting better. And you know better, you do better. And just because you're breaking cycles doesn't mean that you have to break the family. Also, I want to applaud my parents. I know like my mom came from a really strict upbringing, but I know that there were moments or memories that I have where my nana wanted to go off on me and my mom was that protective barrier to calm her down and be like, and give me permission to be like, it's okay, go. don't worry about grandma. You know what I mean? So,
Oh, that's good.
yeah,
That's a lot of
that's
pressure.
important.
One thing I'll say is like my mom will always be like, "Oh, you guys had a bike. Must be nice to have a bike." You know, like those things.
Like a lot
of that.
Yeah.
But
Must be nice.
like they broke cycles within their own family.
Yeah, for sure.
And then sometimes I don't know if it's well received. They're like, okay, well, there's also some things in our family we didn't necessarily like, so we're breaking that cycle and we're making a new one. It doesn't mean that it's like, you know, like we didn't like what you did, but we want to do it differently. Yeah. And it's like, if you genuinely didn't like the way that you grew up in your Filipino household, then like don't be afraid to break out of that too. Right? And like admit it to yourself, maybe not to your parents because they're probably a lot older now, but you can say like, hey, I didn't like that. And I feel like for the older generation, it's so hard for them to hold their parents accountable and be like, I didn't like the way that my parent showed me love and I wish I was loved this way.
Yeah.
And even if they're showing it to us, they still can't call their elders out for it.
Yeah.
Even in private. It's like, it's okay. You can tell us.
I want to add on to that. Like, things are learned sometimes. Actually, one memory that came up for me is, you know, I was told strict household, you can't walk home from school. You have to take the bus. It's unsafe, right? But I wanted to walk home with some of my friends. Like, they'll go to the park. And it was a social thing that I had FOMO over. And I think I was with my friends. We were talking about someone who, one of my brothers didn't take the bus and walked home. So I was of the same mindset of my parents of like, that's so unsafe, regurgitating what was taught onto me. And my friend in the moment was like, but what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
And in that moment, it was a realization where I was like, oh, like, I'm just saying what was taught to me. And it's funny coming from me because I wanted to walk home. So it's like, why am I penalizing my sibling for doing something that I wanted to do? So it's like, sometimes you don't even realize there's like an unawareness. You may just be cycling stuff, right? So that's why it's so important to have that awareness and know when and where to break those cycles for that next generation.
Isn't that what's happening right now? Like, aren't you trying to go on a trip?
I'm trying to do a solo trip, and mom and dad are like, no, you can't go alone. What are you doing? Go with someone. And it's like, it's going against the grain of like, you know, I can be independent and I can go on vacation by myself, but mom and dad
they've
are like,
never done it, right?
It's because they've never done it. That's why.
But I'm sure growing up they wanted to because they never had that lifestyle.
For sure.
So
I have all the feels, guys. This is good. We're going to end on some Am I Bastos, everybody's favorite segment, and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Time for Am I Bastos. Am I Bastos for ruining a family dinner after my father-in-law joked that my Asian relatives might eat my dog?
Oh my gosh.
Buckle up.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
All right. So this past weekend, my husband and I went to see our in-laws after months of lockdown. It was just the four of us at dinner at their home. Anyways, I'm mixed race. My mom is Chinese. I was showing a picture of my mom's side of the family having hot pot and saying that once the pandemic is over, my aunt and uncle from Shanghai want to visit us and we would have really authentic hot pot at home.
I love hot pot.
So good. I'm hungry. Well, as we start discussing what hot pot is, my father-in-law chimes in with oh, well, you better make sure to keep Bottles, my dog, in your sight on hot pot night. I was like, what do you mean? And he joked about how there's no fresher meat around than my living dog. And we all know how those people can't resist eating dogs.
Yikes.
I'm in shock, and I argued back that no one in my family is going to eat my it's a family show, elderly dog when they visit, but both my mother-in-law and father-in-law just laugh and say it's a joke, and my husband just rolled his eyes, gives me a shrug, but he laughs too. I don't know what TA is. This is where I may be, bastos. I was just super effing mad, and the more I thought about it, the madder I got. So I eventually got up and said, thanks for the dinner, but I think I need to leave now. and started gathering my things. My husband is like, whoa, hold on. But I was basically out the door. We then have a mini argument by the car where I said, I don't care. I just want to go home. And my husband eventually agreed and we drove home together. The next morning, he was super pissed at me and said, I acted like a child on a tantrum. I felt a little guilty, but also still pretty mad that he didn't even think to defend me.
Yeah.
Am I bastos?
I say no. This is like ringing true to like something that happened to me, but not dog related. I think just no, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like I think it's tough. Like when you're in dynamics like with cultural differences, but I think just dealing with partners in a sense.
Yeah.
Being around the family dynamic where they're coming at your partner and that's your family, I think you have to know how to be like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like whether it's a joke or not, there's certain boundaries of that understanding that it is a cultural difference and you know how to stick up for your partner and when it calls for.
Yes.
But not being confrontational. So I think, I don't think so.
You don't think she was bastos?
I don't.
Do you think the husband was bastos?
I don't think he should have left. Like, I just think that, you can, joke around about it as well, but
knowing how to stop it afterwards or fizzle it out, I think he could have probably handled that a little better.
Yeah, I agree. What about you guys?
No, I don't think she's bastos. I obviously can see the offense within the situation. To play devil's advocate, though, I can also... I've been in a situation where it's like everyone laughs and it's fine, and then someone gets really mad, But and if everyone else in the room laughed, like I don't think he, in the moment, like he was, that was funny. He laughed at the joke, but I think after your partner leaves and you see that like they're evidently upset, I think that's where you're like, okay, you got to action something, whatever that may look like. He did support her in terms of like, okay, cool, no problem, we'll go home. But then it's after the storm the next morning, right? I think it's just, the opportunity to then just talk it out, right? Also, sometimes when things are happening in real time, I don't think you're being malicious. Like it just happens and then you got to go with it. And then, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think she's bastos, I guess, to answer the first question.
Yeah.
I feel like, and you referenced J. Cole recently. I think even with J. Cole, there was a situation where he was in a studio room or whatever, and people were talking like chismis, and he just got up and left the room, and then the girl gave her opinion on it, and she's like,
I saw that.
That's a whole level like height of maturity that she wants. And I think the girl, like even though it was a family dinner, it was more of like, I don't accept this.
Yes.
Even though it's towards me, I'm going to exit this environment because what it does to my psyche, what it does to my...
That's true.
And I think there's some type of power in that to know that, like, you guys could laugh. You guys could have this opinion.
I'm removing myself.
I'm removing myself.
Yes.
Which is why I respect it, but...
And even the girl, the rapper after, she was saying how, like, in the moment, she was like, what the hell? Like, I can't believe, like, he just walked out like that. But then she sat with herself, she reflected, and then realized... kind of zoomed out and saw the bigger picture and saw what he stood for. Because I think I think she was just ranting or venting about another artist or something of that nature.
Yeah,
and J. Cole's like, bro, I'm here to collaborate with you. I'm not here to chismis, basically, So, no, that's a good story, good reference point.
Yeah, I think for me, it's the culture part, like those people associating it to something negative in North American culture, like eating dogs. Yeah. That's like, obviously, especially like in the atmosphere you're in. So I think that's what I don't like the most. It's like, I think her in-laws are super bastos. Like, why would you reference that? So again, going back to like interracial relationships, how to be respectful of each other's culture, right?
Yeah.
Because like you won't often hear somebody being derogatory towards like, a white culture. Like they won't like just like, I mean, maybe not with like Trump.
We'll tease you sometimes,
the orange man. But otherwise, like I always feel like it's towards Asians, and it makes me so uncomfortable when like somebody's like, okay, like you're Filipino, like Manny Pacquiao, and you like sing and you eat rice, and like, are you a nurse? It's like, whoa, those are like a lot of stereotypes that you just threw at me. Yeah. and they think it's funny and it'll be like kind of like a joke, but it's like I would never look at another culture and like just spew out all of these assumptions.
I'm not going to lead with that.
Yeah.
But so much of the time when somebody finds out you're Filipino, those things are the first things they come at you with.
Yeah.
And
my wife's Filipino. Adobo, sinigang, like, you know. It's like,
it's like, I would, but like even like if I was like seeing a Chinese person, Korean, Japanese, like that is not what I would lead with ever.
Yeah, 100%. I think timing, place, knowing your audience. But is it bad to say, I'm like, it's okay if like we say it to each other, but when it's like another culture,
do that to each other. Like I wouldn't be like, hey Jada, do you like Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah. Fair. Yeah, valid. I stand corrected.
What if it's somebody else and be like, oh, like you're so maganda, like, oh, do you like Manny Pacquiao? Or like that person looks like Manny Pacquiao. It's like, why would you say that to me? Like,
I will say there's something off-putting about like someone's like, oh, you're Filipino, and then it's like they're proving to me how much they know about Filipino. It's like
they love
I'm not giving you points, bro. Like
I think that goes to very like shallow mindsets of how they view things.
Like being uneducated too.
Yeah, like instead of looking at the person like, oh, what it is they're talking about or what they're wearing, and kind of going with that versus like, oh, you're Filipino, and let me just create all these stereotypes or lean on
Bring
that.
up what foods I like.
Yeah, for sure.
but I feel like it is very specific to Filipinos. Like I don't see any, even if I was like Latino or something, like it's not like you're just going to start naming all these things that they eat and the things that they do. Like we're such a specific culture that they really tap into. So I always found that interesting. But just going back to this, it's so hard when you have in-laws and like they're all different cultures. They have so many different beliefs. Like there has been, not like racial, but there have been situations where I'm like, oh, I feel kind of uncomfortable. And I think there was actually one instance where I had left, but I went to go take a walk. I walked the dog. And then I spoke to my husband afterwards, and it's like, there has to be some kind of understanding between me and you that we are not going to be disrespected by our family.
Yeah.
And if we are,
United.
How can we support each other in that moment and call it out? And we got better at that over time, of how to defend one another.
Yeah.
But like we're still learning. So I think like when you get married and there's intercultural, like interracial relationships, like you have to have that conversation before making the commitment to get married. Because those things are going to occur. You're coming from different wakes of life. Everyone's a different age. They have different beliefs. And if you're not on the same page before you get married and make that commitment, it can really affect your relationship later on.
100%. I think also it's 2026. We know better, guys. I think, maybe in the 90s when we didn't have internet and
There's
social media to educate each other, and all we had was, white systemic media feeding us what the norm was. Like, we just know better now. And I think one thing that's really important with interracial relationships is the importance of education to your partner. Because they're only going to know so much, right? So, in order to have a strong partnership, you guys have to know about each other, where you guys came from, and it's just going to set you guys up for success.
Also, bastos. So she's not bastos. I don't think the husband's super bastos, but I think the in-laws are.
It's tough because he was in a tough, for his family, but it's all about how you handle it, I think. But
I think the tantrum, the child on a tantrum, was what I didn't like, what he said.
Because now you're just deflecting and not seeing what me and my family did to upset you. You're not realizing that part.
Or diminishing my experience of being offended.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that was so much
That
fun.
was good. All right, everyone's families are coming.
But thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for joining us. I really enjoyed this episode. I think really great timing too for Family Day. So whatever you do, hug your loved ones. Tell your family you love them. And you can know where to find us. Same TITA time, same TITA place. Okay? Until next time, ingat y'all.
Ingat.
Amping.
Bye guys.